Welcome to another BEC Speaking Practice Lab deep dive. This is a B2 level practice test. Today's business topic is managing an emergency hiring freeze while protecting project delivery, staff morale, and client trust. We'll begin immediately.
Ready for the challenge, Jack? Let's dive in.
Emma, what do you think makes a company a good place to work?
Well, I think several things matter. Salary is obviously important, but I'd also look at development opportunities, communication from management, and whether people feel their workload is reasonable. Personally, I think employees are more motivated when they understand what the company expects from them.
Give me one reason why understanding expectations motivates people.
If people know what's expected, they can focus their energy and feel more confident they're doing the right things. It reduces stress and helps them feel valued.
When a business is under financial pressure, what should managers communicate to employees?
I'd say they should be as transparent as possible without creating unnecessary panic. Staff need to understand the situation, but management should also explain what action is being taken. Otherwise, people may start making assumptions, and that can damage morale quite quickly.
So what's the risk if managers say too little?
The risk is that rumors spread, and people might lose trust in leadership or even start looking for new jobs.
Here is your task. A technology consultancy has unexpectedly lost 2 major contracts. Senior management has introduced an immediate 6-month hiring freeze to reduce costs.
That puts a lot of pressure on existing teams, especially if there's a big project coming up.
Exactly. At the same time, the company has recently won an important project for a long-standing client. The project must be delivered within 8 weeks, but the delivery team is already short of staff.
Tough situation. What are the options?
Management is considering 4 possible responses: postponing less urgent internal projects, asking existing staff to work additional hours, moving employees temporarily from other departments, or renegotiating the delivery schedule with the client. Decide which actions should be prioritized. Consider the effect on delivery, staff morale, costs, and client trust. Pause and respond now.
Well, I think the first priority should be to protect the client project without putting unreasonable pressure on the existing team. To begin with, I'd postpone any internal projects that are not business critical. That seems to be the least damaging option because it releases capacity without increasing recruitment costs. The main disadvantage is that some internal improvements may be delayed, but compared with disappointing an important client, I think that is a manageable risk.
What about moving employees or overtime?
I'd try temporarily transferring employees with relevant skills. Overtime could work in the short term, but too much would damage morale and productivity. Renegotiating the client deadline would be my last option, unless it's absolutely unavoidable.
That answer is understandable, but it is too general. You need clearer priorities, stronger business language, and a more realistic recommendation. Let's upgrade it.
Right. First, I'd identify non-essential internal projects and postpone them, which would free up resources quickly. Second, I'd temporarily transfer employees from other departments, focusing on people with relevant technical skills to avoid extra training time. Overtime should only be used where necessary and for limited periods to prevent burnout. As for the client, I'd only suggest renegotiating if internal measures are not enough, and I'd present a clear alternative delivery plan rather than simply asking for more time.
Better. This answer works because you identified the problem, prioritized actions, explained business impact, and used strong business vocabulary. Emma, do you agree that postponing internal projects should be the first step?
Broadly speaking, yes. Internal deadlines are usually more flexible than client commitments, but we'd need to evaluate each project. Delaying a cybersecurity upgrade, for example, could create serious risk, so I wouldn't freeze everything. I'd check business impact first.
So you'd adapt your approach based on risk.
Exactly. Compliance and operations come first. Things like reporting dashboards can wait.
Some managers argue that employees should simply work extra hours in an emergency. Is that reasonable?
If it's just a few busy days, most people will accept it, especially if they understand why. But for 8 weeks, continuous overtime leads to stress, mistakes, and lower quality. I'd limit overtime to essential periods and communicate clearly about why it's needed.
What practical limit would you set?
I'd make overtime approval mandatory and cap the hours per week. Plus, review workloads regularly.
What are the risks of transferring employees from other departments?
It could solve the immediate project need but create gaps elsewhere. Departments might compete for resources and targets could be missed. Senior management should coordinate transfers to balance priorities.
If you lost staff from your own team, how would you handle it?
I'd want clarity. How long the transfer lasts, what targets can be adjusted, and some recognition that my team can't deliver the same output with fewer people.
Would you tell the client about the hiring freeze?
Not in full detail, but I'd be transparent about anything that affects their project. I'd explain we're managing a capacity issue and have reorganised resources to protect delivery, giving them confidence in our plan.
If the client directly asks about financial problems,
I'd avoid speculation and focus on what I can confirm. Cost controls are in place, the project is a priority and has senior support. For deeper questions, I'd refer them to senior management.
which matters more during this crisis? Employee morale or client satisfaction?
They're both crucial, but I'd protect the client commitment while setting limits on staff expectations. Overworking employees damages service quality in the long run. So, clear boundaries and regular reviews are key.
Would you offer extra pay or time off for overtime?
Ideally, yes. If extra pay isn't possible, then time off or more flexibility after the crisis helps. Recognition is important too. People work harder when their effort is noticed.
Say temporary transfers didn't work. The project is 2 weeks behind, but the client still thinks it's on track. What should the project director do today?
Contact the client immediately, don't wait. Prepare a new delivery plan with realistic dates and options. The conversation should focus on solutions, not excuses.
What options would you give?
Phased delivery core functions on time, extras later. Or reduce scope to the essentials. No contractors if that's not allowed, so phased delivery is strongest.
Let's quickly review 2 useful phrases. The first phrase is, the first priority should be use this when you need to rank several business options and clearly identify the most important action. Repeat. The first priority should be.
The first priority should be protecting client delivery.
Again. The first priority should be.
The first priority should be to limit staff burnout.
The second phrase is, I'd be cautious about. This is useful to disagree professionally. Repeat. I'd be cautious about.
I'd be cautious about expecting overtime for too long.
Again, I'd be cautious about.
I'd be cautious about moving too many staff between departments.
You have 10 seconds. What's the biggest risk of too much overtime?
Exhausted staff make mistakes and may start looking for new jobs, which increases turnover and reduces quality.
Shorter, 3 seconds.
Overtime causes burnout and mistakes.
Quick, why postpone internal projects first?
It frees up resources fast and avoids client disappointment. Basic answer, I think communication is important.
Better answer, clear communication should be prioritised because it reduces confusion, improves accountability, and helps teams meet deadlines.
Basic answer, we need to finish the project on time.
Upgraded. The main objective is to deliver the client project within 8 weeks, so we should postpone internal tasks and reallocate staff to protect delivery and trust.
Basic answer, employees might get tired.
Improved answer. Continuous overtime increases stress, reduces productivity, and may cause experienced staff to leave, which worsens the staffing problem. Notice the difference. The better answers explain reasons, use business terms, and show clear consequences. Strategy point. In part 2, avoid listing ideas too quickly. Use a structure, state the problem, prioritize actions, explain the impact, and recommend a result.
So I shouldn't just say postpone projects, move staff, ask for overtime. I should explain why each one matters.
Exactly, tie every action to project delivery, morale, cost, or client trust, so your answer sounds strategic and professional. Let's wrap up. 3 key takeaways. First, prioritize actions that protect client commitments without exhausting staff. Second, communicate transparently with both employees and clients to maintain trust. Third, always justify your recommendations using business impact, not just opinion.
And for a practical next step, practice giving one clear priority and one professional caution for any business scenario using phrases like, the first priority should be, and I'd be cautious about.
Great work today, Emma. That's the end of our BEC Speaking Practice Lab deep dive on managing an emergency hiring freeze. See you next time.
Thanks, Jack. Looking forward to the next session.